Everyone says you lack discipline and that you just need to try harder. But what if the reason you can't stay consistent isn't because of you, but because of the world around you? The truth is, discipline isn't just about willpower or motivation, but it's about self-control and having the ability to direct your actions instead of being controlled by your impulses. However, in today's world, that's become harder than ever. The foods you eat, the apps you scroll, the shows you watch, they're all engineered to keep you distracted and craving more. The result is that you want to take action on your goals, but your brain is being constantly pulled in thousands of different directions. And so in this video, we're going to get into the 3 modern day traps that are destroying your discipline, why they're so hard to escape, and a few ways you can start to take your power back. Number 1 is limit ultra-processed foods and reclaim your body. Do you ever wonder why you say you'll eat just 1 cookie, but before you know it, you finish the whole pack? Well, it's not a lack of willpower, it's chemistry. The food industry uses something called the bliss point, a concept created by food scientist Howard Moskowitz, which describes the exact combination of sugar, salt, and fat that makes food irresistible. This bliss point is carefully engineered by food companies to make their products hyper-palatable, meaning that they override your body's natural signals of fullness or satisfaction. In simple terms, they design the food to bypass your hunger signals so that you keep on eating. That's why you keep on saying, "I'll eat 2 cookies," but before you know it, you've eaten the whole box. Foods engineered to hit the bliss point include things like cookies, chips, fast food, ice cream, cakes. Basically, most of the processed foods lined up in the supermarket shelves. When you eat them, your brain releases dopamine, the same neurotransmitter that drives motivation and reward, which gives you pleasure and makes you want more. But because these foods lack real nutrition, your brain never fully satisfies that craving, and so the cycle continues. However, this manipulation goes far beyond just flavor. Food manufacturers also engineer the texture to be irresistible. They carefully design the crunch, the crisp, or whether it melts in your mouth. Some even measure the sound of the crunch in labs because the frequency affects how satisfying your brain finds it. And it doesn't stop there. Some food companies even study neural responses in MRI scans to see which areas of the brain lights up when people eat their products, literally designing food to addict you. And even their marketing is psychologically crafted. Children's cereals use colorful mascots like Tony the Tiger or the Cocoa Pops monkey, and companies pay thousands extra for eye-level shelf placements in supermarkets because they know that eye level is buy level. Because what you see more often, you crave more of. And so if you feel like you can't stop eating junk food, then understand this. You're fighting a product engineered to defeat your willpower. It's like swimming upstream against science. So here's a few ways to take back control. Gradually limit ultra-processed foods. Build your diet around whole foods such as eggs, meat, vegetables, fruits, and grains. Design your environment by removing junk food so temptations aren't constantly around. Plan meals ahead of time so your willpower isn't being tested when you're tired or hungry. The thing is, you don't really hear of someone getting sick or becoming overweight after eating too many whole foods, do you? Well, there's a reason for that. The reason you keep struggling with these ultra-processed foods is because you are addicted to them, and the addiction has been carefully crafted by the food industry so that you keep going back for more and they keep making a profit. But now let's dive into the digital twin of the food industry, because social media plays the exact same game, but instead of targeting your appetite, it targets your mind. Number 2, reclaim your attention so you can reclaim your mind. When Facebook first launched in 2004, it was a relatively innocent platform. It was a simple way for college students to connect, and people barely even used it for an hour a day. But today, the social media industry has grown into a multi-trillion-dollar attention economy built on exploiting human psychology. Social media platforms are powered by 2 core psychological drivers. Number 1, variable rewards, which is the same principle principle behind gambling. And number 2, social approval, which is our deep biological need to belong. So let's talk about variable rewards first. In the 1950s, psychologist B.F. Skinner did an experiment with pigeons. First, he gave pigeons food at a predictable, consistent time. What he found is that the pigeons only pecked the lever when they knew food was coming, and so their behavior was calm and controlled. But then, he gave another group of pigeon food at random intervals, so they weren't on a predictable schedule. And something incredible happened. The pigeons became obsessed, pecking the lever constantly because they never knew when the next reward was going to come. This is called a variable reward system, and it's the foundation of addictive behavior. The unpredictability keeps the brain hooked and constantly anticipating the next reward. And social media works in the exact same way, because every time you check your phone, you don't know what you'll get. A like, a message, a video, or sometimes nothing. Each swipe is like holding a slot machine in your hand, and every unpredictable hit releases dopamine in your brain. In a very real sense, you have become a gambler and your phone is the slot machine. But let's now touch upon social approval. Humans are tribal creatures, and from the very beginning, being accepted by our tribe meant safety, whilst rejection could have meant death. This is why our brains are hardwired to crave social approval and fear disapproval. And social media also hacks that primal wiring. Likes, comments, and shares signal approval, and when it doesn't come, the same brain regions activate as if experiencing physical pain. Features like tagging, notifications, and a constant update of stories feed this loop, keeping you checking endlessly. This is also why logging off these apps or deleting them feel impossible to so many people. Because even when these apps consume the majority of our time and attention, we struggle justifying to delete them because social media deliberately fuels FOMO, the fear of missing out, tapping into your desire to see what others are doing and keeping you constantly engaged. And so understand that compulsive scrolling or a high screen time isn't a flaw in your character, but it's the result of a highly profitable business model built to exploit your deepest psychological vulnerabilities by hacking your brain's reward system and playing on your social approval needs. And so how do we tackle this? Well, the goal isn't to delete every app and move into the woods, but it is about breaking your dependency so your dopamine system can reset and rebalance. If you can, I'd recommend doing 30 days without social media, because this will be a complete reset for your mind. But if that feels too extreme right now, then start smaller and try these things. Number 1, no phone for the first hour after waking up. Number 2, turn off non-essential notifications. Number 3, delete the apps that you consume the most. Number 4, spend at least 1 day per week offline. Number 5, practice moments of boredom without taking your phone out, whether it's you're standing in the queue, on the bus, or on your lunch break. This isn't about rejecting these tools entirely, but it's about taking back control so that you are in charge, not your phone. Now, the final way to improve your discipline is prioritizing sleep to reclaim your energy. Most people don't connect discipline with sleep, but sleep is one of the critical foundations that will affect your self-control. You can't expect a tired and overstimulated brain to make smart and healthy decisions. The truth is, most people aren't lazy, but they're just running on empty. From the moment they wake up, they're bombarded with sugar, caffeine, blue light, noise, notifications, and then they wonder why they can't focus, why they procrastinate, and why they lack willpower. When you don't get enough sleep, your prefrontal cortex, the brain's decision-making and impulse control center, shuts down. Meanwhile, your amygdala, the emotional center, becomes hyperactive, which is why you're more likely to skip workouts, eat junk food, and scroll for hours, because your logical brain is offline and your emotional brain takes over. Poor sleep also messes with your hunger hormones, ghrelin and leptin. Ghrelin makes you feel hungry, whilst leptin signals to you that you're full. And so when you don't sleep enough, ghrelin spikes and leptin drops, so you crave more food, especially things like sugar and carbs. And so hopefully you're starting to see why you're finding discipline so hard, because you've got these chemically enhanced foods made to addict you you, and your lack of sleep messing with your hunger hormones, and that together is a recipe for disaster. But this isn't just about sleep quantity, because constant stimulation is keeping your brain wired. Caffeine, notifications, loud music, scrolling, your brain is not getting a chance to rest. And when dopamine is constantly elevated from stimulation, normal life starts to feel dull and boring. This is why you keep on chasing more stimulation, why you're so distracted and unfocused, instead of being able to do the quiet and meaningful work that actually matters. And so you have to realize this: discipline thrives in calm and order, not chaos. And so if you want to start building real discipline and be more in control of your own choices, then you have to start treating sleep like it's sacred. And so number 1, keep a consistent sleep schedule by going to bed and waking up at the same time every day. Number 2, avoid screens 1 hour before bed. Number 3, limit caffeine after noon. And number 4, give your brain moments of silence by walking without music, eating without your phone, and letting your mind rest. Your lack of discipline isn't a moral failure, but it's a biological and psychological war. Every day, billion-dollar industries are hijacking your biology to profit off your impulses. But once you understand the game, it becomes easier to win it. Discipline is about reclaiming control over your brain, environment, and habits. Eat real food, limit digital noise, and prioritize sleep. Click here to learn 4 accountability methods that will help you to stay on track towards your goals, and I hope this video helped. All the best.